Hey, what's up guys? Orangepylonz here. I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we are going to be doing an unboxing and assembly of the Neewer Shoulder Rig, available on Amazon for $189. I thought I would just make this video to help those who are having trouble assembling the rig a little bit easier. Alright, so let's get into it. You can see me unboxing some boxes. There are 3 boxes that come in a larger box, and if you're following along with the assembly, it's important to keep the items within these boxes to help keep things organized. Okay, we're going to start by opening the smallest box out of the 3. And inside this box, you're going to get 3 things: an Allen key, a bracket, and a counterweight. Now, the counterweight weighs 2.5 pounds, and if you've used camera rigs before or gyms, you know that it's important to keep things balanced, so it's nice that Neewer included this in the package. On to the second box, and inside this box is a mat box. And for those who don't know what a mat box is, it's sort of like barn doors that fit onto the front of a rig and prevent sun glare from hitting your lens and potentially ruining a shot. So here is our 2 of the flaps or barn doors. There are 3, 2 on the sides and 1 at the top. And there's Mooch. Hello, Mooch. All right, on to the last box. There's a smaller box in the last box, and inside the small box is your shallow focus. So there is the focus ring that wraps around your camera lens, and here is the bracket that attaches to the knob and the gear. It has a nice resistance that will last a long time and provide smooth focusing. So here's one of 2 handles that come with the rig. It's a rubber knurled handle, and it's blue. This rig comes in 2 color sets, red and blue, and it has a nice feel around the grip, and that clamps or slides into a C bracket, which you'll see shortly, to allow for low angle shots and to carry the rig around. So here are the front handles. They are knurled as well, and like I said before, it's a nice feel, and it gives you confidence when you're carrying expensive equipment. So this is the C bracket that I was mentioning. This could be mounted in either direction, but we'll follow the instructions and mount it on how they want you to mount it. Everything is made of aluminum, so there's a nice sturdy feel to everything. This is an elbow bracket, and this will mount to the chassis. So here are 2 sets of aluminum rods, and they are hollow and threaded. And I think they give you a good length there, and Neewer really thought about that. They kept in mind that people have different postures and different sizes, so this rig can be adjusted accordingly. They're threaded because you want to screw on these plastic bolts on the ends, and they're just like a safety measure so things don't slide off if they loosen accidentally or if you forget to tighten them up. So here is the base plate and the chassis. It comes with a level, and you can see there on the bottom it's threaded for a tripod mount, and it's quick release, so you can change cameras or change lenses without too much adjustment. They have the standard bolts on the top, a 1/4 inch and a 3/8, so they can fit a wide variety of cameras. So now we're at the assembly part of the video, and you're going to need these two parts of the rig, the C brackets and the base chassis. And I use the level as a reference point to how everything will attach. It's a good idea to loosen the wing nuts so everything slides into place, and don't tighten them too much, so you can adjust everything later on. Now there's the level I was talking about, so if you do mount this onto a tripod, that helps to get everything nice and leveled. Okay, the next thing that we're going to need is the elbow plate, or the elbow bracket, sorry. And this slides onto the back of the chassis. And this is what we are going to use to slide in those longer metal rods later to attach the shoulder pad. So like I said, don't tighten everything too much. Nice and loose so you can adjust it later. And the wing nuts make that really, really easy. Next, we're going to need the follow focus, and this is going to attach to the front of the camera rig. And you're going to see they have this nice plate that allows you to adjust the vertical height of the ring to fit different camera sizes. And Neewer really thought of that. They know that there are cameras that are different sizes. So that slides onto the rods, and you just tighten that bolt at the bottom to keep things from moving. All right, so things are looking complete, or close to it at least. Next, get a hold of the handlebars, and these wing nuts on the front here allow you to adjust the axes or the pitch of the handlebars. So that easily slides onto the rails in the front, and you tighten the wing nuts on the side. So you can see this wing nut here gets obstructed by the follow focus, but I quickly adjust it and tighten things into place. So now we need the longer rods of the two sets, and they're going to slide into that elbow bracket that I was talking about earlier on the back of the rig. So here is the shoulder pad. It's made of a squishy foam. and slides onto these rails. So it's a quick and easy installation, and you can adjust on the fly for different camera users. So now we're going to assemble the counterbalance. And like I said before, the counterbalance or the counterweight is 2.5 pounds. So inside this baggie, you're going to get a couple of things, or a few things. And you're going to see you're going to get a washer, a nut, the wing bolt, an Allen key, which Neewer provides too, and the bracket itself. So grab hold of the weights and place the bracket into the slot. And try to line up the holes. You're going to see here I tried to use the bolt and try to press fit it. I didn't realize it's threaded, so what you want to do is wind it in, and don't try to press it in like I do here. Luckily, I quickly realized and screw it in. Next, you want to put on the washer, and then tighten things up with the bolts. These wing nuts have a slot on the top of them, and the Allen key provided can tighten things up. So once that's assembled, slide things into place and tighten them up. Like I said before, try not to tighten things too tight so that you can later adjust everything to fit your posture. So now we're going to assemble the mat box before we put it onto the rig. So there are 3 fins, flaps or barn doors, whatever you want to call it, and how they attach is with this hinge. Like I said before, this plastic is quite flimsy, so be careful when clipping on these hinges, because they have potential to, break if you're poorly with this action. So it's worth mentioning that you do not have to attach the mat box if your camera lens has a glare protection sort of apparatus on the front. You don't need the mat box at all, but simply slides onto the rails and winds into place. And there's also this this bracket here that can be adjusted for different heights of cameras. So we're getting closer to the end here. You're going to need the final 2 aluminum rods, and they slide into those sockets at the top of the C bracket. And be sure to line them up correctly, or just line them up so you know things are nice and square. So now we're going to assemble or slide into place the handle, and this can be put either facing the direction that I place it, or the opposite way. It's also worth mentioning that the C bracket could be placed or mounted the other way as well. So if your camera obstructs these brackets, you can adjust the rig. So this is how you loosen the base plate. You unwind this bolt, and there's a pin on the other side here. Once you press it in, you can just pull off the base plate, and that's great for changing lenses or cameras. You can see that there's a rubber slide prevention pad on the top of the plate, and also 2 bolts to fit different cameras. And you just got to push in that pin, place the plate on the chassis, and screw back in the bolt, and that thing's not going anywhere. So here are the plastic bolts that go onto the end of the rails to prevent things from sliding off, and they simply wind into place. Like I said before, this rig comes in 2 color schemes, blue and red, and it's a great aesthetic touch. Here is the Ulanzi mount for a camera phone. This doesn't come with the rig, but I thought it was a good product to show as well, to show other mounting solutions if you don't have a DSLR. So just demonstrating how the clamps come together. There's a nice rubberized pad in the inside to hold your phone, and this can be mounted vertically or horizontally with a 1/4 inch thread. There's also a shoe bracket on the top, so that's nice to have. So here's the final roll. I hope you guys liked this unboxing and assembly. And like I said before, I just made this video to help those who are having a little bit of trouble assembling this thing. I know it could be exciting when you get something like this, and the rush can make things a little bit complicated. So if you have any comments, post them down in the bottom. And thanks for watching. Orangepylon out.